What's up guys, I am fresh out of bed and fresh back from holiday actually. Me and the family have been over to Greece. First family holiday in a very long time. It was amazing, all inclusive, and just over the past year or so, I do a lot more sitting down now with coaching, programming and stuff. I've put on a little bit of weight, which is fine, I don't mind that at all. However, I've decided to do my first jiu-jitsu competition in August, and I need to weigh in at 82.5 kilos with the gi on. For those who don't follow jiu-jitsu, gi is basically like the karate uniform you see people wear. So I need to probably be about 80 kilos. I just jumped on the scales you guys saw. I had the camera in hand, note, without the metal tripod on it, and it was 85 kilos. So there is some work to do. I have 3 simple things that I follow when it comes to losing fat, and they, following the basics and them, will be 99% of what you need to do to lose weight. The rest of it will be supplements and stuff, which is, you don't even need to do, let's be honest. Do the basics, do them well, and you will absolutely fly. So first things first today, I got to take my daughter to gymnastics, Bobby to the gymnastics. Won't bring you guys to that. I might bring you for the drive, but I won't take you in there because of the kids, you know, all that kind of stuff. Then we will come back, and my brother is actually down from London, and he wants to train today. So hopefully we can get my twin brother in to do a little CrossFit workout with us. A little bit of strength orientated CrossFit, can't make it too fitness wise for him because he doesn't do it and it will just batter him. Or I just want to scale it, build his confidence without, do you know what I mean? I don't want to introduce him to kind of a little CrossFit workout and have him absolutely go, oh, I never want to do that again. So something that's achievable but builds strength but is still kind of fun. So that is our plan for today. Again, loads of knowledge bombs coming today when it comes to kind of fat loss. Let's get into it.
Are you making some dinner?
No, I'm having some breakfast time. Breakfast's a little bit different today. Like normally I want to try and have some type of protein in the morning, kind of get the day started, but keep it low calorie. I like to push the most of my calories towards the end part of the day. That way there's less time to make bad choices, but also it means I can have a bigger meal with the family. So normally I might have like an egg wrap or something for breakfast, but I recently had to have a pretty horrific amount of antibiotics because I basically got like an infection in my elbow and a burst in my elbow from the world's tiny, I wouldn't even call it a cut, a graze. And maybe I'll put some pictures up. It kind of swelled up. They gave me some penicillin. Then it started spreading. So they took me to A&E, gave me some stronger antibiotics. Then that didn't work, so then I got given an antibiotic drip. And I ended up just doing a lot of antibiotics, which obviously, hey baby. Not only does it get rid of the bacteria, but it also damages good gut bacteria as well. So you can get like a dysbiosis. So I actually just do a few things at the moment. Like I was taking a probiotic. During antibiotics, a probiotic that would survive the antibiotics. There's certain ones you can get by Optibac. And then some probiotics that I normally take sporadically afterwards, as well as L-glutamine on an empty stomach. L-glutamine can do a really good job at repairing your GI tract if you have it on an empty stomach with water. And then just little things like this. This is kefir, which is one of those, you know, like Yakult and stuff like that, just friendly gut bacteria. So this morning, that's what I've just gone for.
Outside and do some bubbles.
Can we play outside and do some bubbles?
Yeah.
Well, we've got that gymnastics in a minute, kiddo. Okay, broski's here. My twin, 12 minutes, for those who don't know, I'm 12 minutes older. Jim's about 4 inches taller. That's pretty much all the things you need to know. Other than that, we are exactly the same.
Extra time in the womb is what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, quick grow!
Right, most important thing, caffeine. You want caffeine? Pick your poison.
I've had 2 coffees already.
Oh, maybe you don't then.
Yeah, no.
I might go for a little...
What's the other thing? It's apart from...
These?
It's juice.
Omega-3. I might go for a little mango something or Miami. Ooh.
If I'd known, I wouldn't have my other coffees. I like them, but they're
You can take some away with you.
Oh, maybe I would.
I've got loads. It's another beautiful sunny day. Okay, so I am thinking we squat.
Alright. You're gonna have to take a lot of your weight off for me.
I have not squatted in ages. Started doing some running and it's pissed off my knee a bit, so that's the reason I want to squat.
What's your, like, tell me, because like 80 is what I can do for like 10 reps.
Yeah, we don't do 10 reps in this house.
What do you do?
Because 10 rep squats suck. They're the worst. So we'll do like, often what I do when I squat is I just work up in 3s to the heaviest that I want to do 3s with. But we'll just see how we feel today. I'll show you what that is. It's a bar jack. It's actually quite ingenious. So when you put it on the floor, you jack it up and you pull the weights off it. So it doesn't get the corner floor.
Yeah, okay. I like
Simple but genius. rotate away to the side. And now you're gonna do like a stripper squat. So you let your bum come up in the air, pulse up, flat back. Typically what I do in my squat sessions is, because I'm not really chasing the heaviest lift I can do anymore, but I don't want to lose my strength. So typically I just work up to a heavy triple for the day. Normally I stop about 140. Actually I think I did 5x5s at 130 before I went away, which is irrelevant. My brother's a lot taller than me, as you can see. He's a little bit tighter as well.
I'm also nowhere near as strong.
Well, that's fine. So I just want to kind of take him through some things today. I'm actually going to wear lifters today. Jim's got some shoes on which look like probably pretty unstable, so we'll see how things go. And it'll be cool because I'll be able to give him some tips that I can probably pass on to you guys as well, the things that I do with most people when we squat.
It's quite good.
Oh, mate.
Glutes going on there, dude.
Got a booty.
I've never noticed before.
What, the size of my ass?
That's quite a rump.
Alright, cool. I'll show you a little something. When you're squatting, your arches rolling ever so slightly. Yeah. Nothing major, everyone does that. Me, it's a problem, because my arches collapse, and if my ankle rolls in, my knee rolls in, and then that will piss off my knees. That's probably why it's getting upset with running, because I'm not used to it. So what we do with the floor, whenever we're squatting or anything like that, we create a tripod foot. It means our heel is in contact with the floor, our outside and our baby toes are in contact with the floor, and our big toe is gripping the floor. So it doesn't have to be a claw, but I want you to force that big toe into the floor. That is what supports your arch and stops your arch collapsing. Then your ankles won't drop as well. You'll get more force through the glutes and be able to stop the knees. Do your knees cave in when you get really heavy?
Yeah. There's a new trainer and getting results.
So my brother, having moved houses where he lives in London, he just said he's got a new trainer. He's actually seen a lot of results. And I said, oh, what are you doing with him? He's like, oh, stuff that I've always avoided. I was like, that's why you're seeing results. And that is, like, I don't do as much CrossFit as I used to now. I do a lot of jiu-jitsu. But that's one of the benefits of it, and why people see so much progress in it is because you go in and it's what's programmed on the board that day. You don't get cherry picked, so you're forced to do stuff that you're not good at, and that brings up kind of everywhere. I just showed Jim, obviously my brother, how to get in and out of squats because he works out in a conventional gym. Dropping barbells normally isn't an option. And if you haven't done it before, it's actually something worth learning how to do, how to escape a squat. Because you can't always squat. I never squat with a spotter. So I need to know, how do I get out of it? So you can obviously get out from the back of a squat, or you can push it over the front of your head if your bum wants to rise early. We're gonna start lifting now, triples, work our way up. Probably gonna show my brother how to use the belt properly, and then we'll go from there. Good, absolutely no arch collapse now. Yeah, so just showing Jim how to properly brace against a belt. So what I see a lot of people doing is they wear a belt up here, which is ridiculous, but they'll wear a belt here, they'll crank it as tight as they can, like this, and then all they do is just push their belly out into it. That is not bracing your core. That's not what is meant to happen. What's meant to happen is it's a really good thing to do. Wear your belt super loose. It's baggy, okay, at the moment. Not when you're doing your max list, but just to learn and to understand what we're trying to do here. I'm taking a big breath in. My diaphragm will expand, allows me to fill up my belly with air. See, there's a difference between breathing here, and there's a difference between breathing into my belly. Now, my belly pushes out, I want to force my obliques out, my sides out, and my erectors out, so I can feel contact in 1, 2, 3, 4 places. I should get a 360 brace all the way through my belt. So I'll go here. Now I can feel all the way around, I have contact with that belt. That is how you brace your core properly. You think of it like a Coke can. If you've got a Coke can and you're putting weight on top of it, if there's a dent in the back, it collapses that way. If I'm only bracing here, I've got a weakness in my back here, if that makes sense. And if I've got a 360 kind of brace the way around it, it's gonna make it stronger. So that's what you're looking for when you wear your belts.
You've got that mobility, you hang back up.
That's it.
Made in a manner.
Okie dokie, strength's done. We're gonna do a little bit of fitness with Jim now. Nothing too crazy, like I said earlier, I don't want to bury him. So we'll do a 12-minute EMOM, alternating between 10 cal bike, 10 cal ski. Jim feels a little bit dizzy. He's had this since we were young because he's got low blood pressure, but sometimes he gets a little bit dizzy.
Especially after like if I do like a big muscle group and big movements like squatting heavy, yeah.
So we'll just take it by ear. Okie Okay, finished training with my brother. Let me turn this around so I'm not in shadow. It was really awesome. We haven't trained together for so many years, so we just don't see each other that often, but he did great. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, back to the kind of idea of this video. My kind of top tips for fat loss. Originally I was going to have it at 3, but there's actually some more that I thought of that are things that I think of subconsciously when I flick the switch to go into fat loss, because it really is a switch that I have to flick. I can't half-ass it, because otherwise I'll go, yeah, I should be eating X amount of calories, but oh well, I'll just go and have this extra. It's really got to be that almost mechanical changeover for me. Doesn't mean that it's all or nothing. I've got to go really massive deficit. That's not what I'm saying. I've just got to flick my mindset into a mindset of less opposed to surplus, if that makes sense. So obviously the first one I spoke about was calorie deficit. I don't need to talk about that. We all know that. Everyone should know that you need a calorie deficit to lose body fat, and that's how every diet works. The next one we talked about real quickly was protein. And I didn't really say why. I said evenly spacing protein over your meals is going to maximally stimulate muscle protein synthesis and preserve muscle mass, which is hugely important because we don't want to be losing muscle when we're on a diet, especially a prolonged diet. We want to be minimizing the amount of muscle that we may lose. There's 2 other reasons why a higher protein diet is really beneficial when fat loss is the goal. One, protein has the highest thermic effect of food. So up to roughly 30% of the calories that you get from protein, you actually lose in the process of breaking it down and utilizing that. Carbs, 5 to 10% less. Fat, 5 to 10% less than that, okay? Also, protein is the most satiating of the macronutrients, means it keeps you feeling fuller for longer. So another reason why those that are on a higher protein diet may find fat loss or dieting or sustaining that lifestyle a little bit easier. And the last one is more volume of food, so especially veggies. So one thing I will do when it comes to fat loss is I tend to decrease the amount of carbs I eat in the form of starchy carbs. I still have them because I love them and they're one of my, I feel they fuel my workouts really well, but I want to increase the amount of veggies that I have because there's less calories in there, more nutrition in there, which means I get more volume of food that keeps me feeling full. Conversely to that is that I need to get used to feeling hungry, because that's what I've already realized now, is that as soon as I start even thinking I'm remotely hungry, I'm like, oh, I need to eat something, because that's what I normally do. When I really actually need to start embracing being hungry for a short period of time, because at the end of the day, I'm giving my body less than it needs to maintain or build what I currently have. I'm trying to take away from it. So it is perfectly normal to feel some form of hunger. Yes, it doesn't want to be extreme because that's not sustainable, but you will tell people, you'll hear people say that if you're feeling hungry when you're in a calorie deficit or when you're in a diet, then your diet's not working. That's not true. At the end of the day, you are taking something away from the body. So one thing I like to do is I kind of ride the line of telling myself, okay, I'm hungry. That's the kind of position that I want to be in. That's what I want things working. And not all the time, but I'll have a meal, an hour, 2 hours after that meal. In between that and the next one, I want to start feeling some hunger. I don't want to constantly be on the kind of the full side of the gauge. I want to be depleting a bit because I want to be taking that energy from my body. Now you can search the internet, you can search for hacks, you can search for everything you want to find that golden pill and that secret thing that everyone's doing to lose weight, aside from steroids and that kind of stuff. This is the way. This is the thing that you've been looking for. This is what you've been trying to achieve and you wonder how other people do it. They do this and they do it consistently because they find ways to make these habits in their life. They find a way to make a calorie deficit a habit in their life. They swap out their double orange mocha frappuccino coffee every day for a black coffee and save 200 calories a day alone on a coffee. They change their habits to make sure they get more protein in their diet. Maybe they have a protein shake along with their breakfast, or they swap the type of meat they're eating, or if they're on a vegan diet, they make sure they get more pulses in. It doesn't matter what it is. They want to make sure that because their calories are less, they're getting a volume of food that makes them feel fuller for longer. So they increase their veggies because now they make habits like, okay, so what am I having for dinner tonight? I'm gonna have chicken breast and I'm gonna make garlic broccoli, I'm gonna make Mediterranean veg, whatever it may be. It's just ways of increasing that volume of food but with minimal amounts of calorie but still keeping nutrition up. Sure, you could eat cucumber or popcorn because the volume will be high, unsalted popcorn obviously and unbuttered popcorn, but the taste and the nutrition that you're getting from that is pretty void. So it's about just fixing up these habits, and that takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. I will have some sticking points and I'll have some points of friction where I've got to go, come on John, are you going to commit to this? Because like I said before, there's been a few times where I've thought about it and I haven't really had to do it because I'm not unfit and I'm not out of shape, but I just didn't want to make those sacrifices to get in better shape than I currently was. Whereas now, it's not so much about the physical way I look, it's now more about the necessity for jiu-jitsu competition, because if I don't, I'm going to be right at the bottom weight of the next weight category up, which means I'm going to get guys that are cutting down to 90 kilos and squashing me, which are probably 95 kilo guys. Or I could be at the top of the, whatever it is, 75 to 82 kilo weight class. And yes, it's my first comp, I'm probably going to get battered by everyone, but that's not the point. I still want to put all the things that I can in place that I can do to put myself in the best position. Now, I do hope you enjoyed this video. It's nice to get back. After this holiday, the first one for a very, very long time, I feel refreshed, I feel creative, I feel like it's hard when your job, a lot of you will know, when you, in any job really, but especially when you've got to be creative and you've got to pull ideas out of your arse all the time. If you burn that candle at both ends and there's no recuperation time, it's very hard to you get like writer's block. It can be difficult to do. I've just seen my infinity gauntlet giving everyone the middle finger at the back there. I quite enjoy that. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you very much for watching. If it was helpful or if you have any questions, please leave them in the description box below. I've got a new mobility video coming up soon, which is going to be yoga inspired, which I think you guys are going to love. But lots of new videos coming up because, like I say, I've kind of got that fire back again because I've had a break, if I'm honest. Peace out.